Welcome to Zoe Stories. My best friend lost a girlfriend, so he turned me into one instead. My name's Chris. I'm 25 years old, and like a lot of people, I never really thought I'd end up in the situation I'm in now. I'm just an average guy, grew up in a small town, worked my way through college, and now I'm doing the 9-to-5 grind in a nondescript office. Nothing special, but I get by. My life's been a series of routines and small triumphs, nothing that ever forced me to step too far outside of my comfort zone. But all that changed when Kelly, my loud and outgoing coworker, dared me to do something completely ridiculous. You see, Kelly's the type of person who thrives on getting a rise out of people. She's always the one pushing boundaries, joking around, and getting people to do things they never would otherwise. And that's how I ended up with a bet that I'd be dressed as a woman by the time of the company Halloween party. At first, I laughed it off. But the more she teased, the more she egged me on. And, well, here I am. It's just supposed to be a joke, right? A laugh. Maybe a little weird for a guy like me, but nothing too out of the ordinary. Except, the closer the party gets, the more I feel this strange tug inside me. There's something about the idea of dressing up that pulls me in. I can't explain it. Just that nagging voice that tells me there's more to this than I thought. And that's where everything starts to get complicated. What's at stake? I think I'm just fooling around, but what if there's something deeper to discover about who I really am? The closer the Halloween party gets, the more my head spins. At first, it was all just a joke, something that Kelly could laugh about later when we were all a little tipsy, sitting around in costumes that barely made sense. But now, with the days ticking down, I feel a strange pressure building. The idea of dressing as a woman isn't something I've ever really thought about in any serious way. Sure, I've put on costumes before, but this is different. This is me, standing in front of my reflection, deciding to embrace something that feels so out of place for me. And that's terrifying. It's not like I haven't dressed up for Halloween before, but this feels like crossing a line. I've always prided myself on being just one of the guys. Growing up, I spent more time with my boys than doing anything that could be considered girly. And here I am, about to walk into a party, wearing a dress and makeup. Every part of me screams that it's wrong, that I'll look ridiculous. The self-doubt hits hard. What if people laugh? What if they don't take me seriously? What if they think I'm less of a man for going through with it? But there's another voice, a quieter one, that I can't ignore. What if I'm wrong about this? What if stepping into this role isn't just about humiliation, but something more? What if I find something within myself that I didn't even know existed? The thought makes my heart race, but also leaves me conflicted. On one hand, the idea of doing something outside the norm excites me. But on the other, the fear of judgment, of being exposed for something I'm not ready to explore, feels suffocating. The closer I get to making the final decision, the harder it becomes. Every time I look in the mirror, I wonder what I'm doing to myself. But that nagging pull, that curiosity, that small spark of excitement, keeps growing. And I can't ignore it. The decision weighs on me more heavily than I ever thought it would. The closer we get to the party, the more I feel like I'm standing at the edge of a cliff. Kelly, of course, thinks it's all hilarious. She keeps texting me pictures of dresses and heels, asking which one I'll wear, sending winky faces like it's some big joke. Every time I get one of her messages, a knot forms in my stomach. I've known Kelly for years, but this feels different now. She's been pressuring me to go through with it, pushing my boundaries in a way I didn't expect. Part of me wonders if she even knows what she's asking. It's easy for her. She's confident, bold, completely comfortable in her own skin. But I'm just me. Last night, I sat in my room, scrolling through the endless options online, my finger hovering over the screen, trying to decide. I can practically hear my friends laughing in the background, making jokes about how funny I'll look, how ridiculous the whole thing is. But underneath all that laughter is something else, something more dangerous. What if they don't just laugh? What if they mock me, make me feel like I'm not really who I thought I was? I try to talk to my brother, Ethan, about it. He's always been my sounding board, the guy who gets me. So, Kelly's got you doing this whole thing, huh? He asked, looking over at me from his seat on the couch. I could hear the amusement in his voice, but also an edge of something deeper. What's the big deal? It's just a costume. It's not just a costume, though, I told him, rubbing my hands together nervously. There's something else to it. I don't know what it is, but it feels like there's more at stake. Ethan shrugged, clearly not understanding. You'll be fine. Just have fun with it. But that's the thing. I don't know if I can just have fun with it. What if I don't look right? What if I don't feel right? The more I think about it, the more my heart races. The nagging thought won't leave me. The uncertainty. What if I actually like it? What if, when I look in the mirror, I feel something I'm not prepared to feel? A small voice in my head keeps asking, what if I'm someone else entirely? Then there's the part of me that's scared to face that. Who am I if I let go of everything I thought I knew about myself? The deeper I go, the more the tension builds, the more everything seems to slip out of control. That's when the phone buzzes again, and Kelly's name lights up the screen. The message reads, "We're all ready for you to finally join us, babe. Can't wait to see you in your new look." Winky face. The wink emoji sends a shiver through me. I set my phone down on the table, feeling like I'm suffocating in my own indecision. What am I even doing here? The party's tonight. Time's running out, and I'm standing in front of my closet, frozen. I feel the weight of every option in front of me. The dresses, the heels, the makeup. I can't breathe. The thought of stepping into that world, transforming into someone I've never been before, is almost paralyzing. I've done costumes before, sure, but this is different. This isn't just about playing a role. It's about stepping into something I don't know how to navigate. And I don't know what it says about me if I do. I keep replaying Kelly's texts in my head, the ones filled with excitement and playful taunts. They sound innocent enough, but under it all, there's pressure. She's excited. She's sure it's going to be hilarious. But what if it's not? What if I go there, and it's not just about the laughs? What if, deep down, this is who I'm supposed to be? What if stepping into this costume somehow forces me to face something about myself I'm not ready for? If I back out, though, it means facing the disappointment in Kelly's eyes. The teasing. The judgment. I can already hear it. Oh, you're too scared? But if I go, if I put on the dress, the makeup, I'm stepping into uncharted territory. I'll never be the same after that. My mind races. I take a deep breath and reach for the dress. The moment my fingers brush the fabric, will I still recognize myself? There's no turning back now. This is happening. The moment the fabric touches my skin, I feel a strange electricity run through me. It's like stepping into someone else's life, someone more confident, someone who owns the space they occupy. The dress slips over my head, cool and smooth, clinging to my body in a way that feels unfamiliar, but somehow right. The mirror in front of me reflects a version of myself I've never seen before, and yet, I can't look away. I feel a mixture of awe and fear. My hands tremble as I adjust the neckline, and I can't help but think, is this really me? Kelly is at my side, guiding me through each step. She pushes me gently toward the makeup table, her voice filled with excitement, urging me to trust her. I sit, and the first brush of foundation against my skin is an invasion, yet it's oddly comforting. She's so focused on her work, but I can't seem to focus on anything but the way my reflection changes with each layer. First the foundation, then the eyeshadow, the mascara, each stroke altering my face into something both foreign and somehow more me. I watch as she transforms my features, my face becoming softer, more delicate. I can't stop staring at the person staring back at me. The longer I watch, the less I recognize myself, but also the more I understand who I might be, someone I've never fully allowed myself to be. The lipstick is the final touch. Kelly leans in, steadying my chin as she applies it, and when I look at my reflection again, I'm struck silent. It's a complete transformation, but it's not just my body I see changed. It's my entire mindset. I look like a girl, I whisper, the words sounding almost foreign in my mouth. There's disbelief in my voice, but there's also something else. Excitement. A fluttering sensation that rises in my chest. This feels like more than just a costume now. It feels like a truth. My thoughts start to swirl. Am I allowed to feel this way? Am I supposed to? Kelly helps me into heels, guiding me with steady hands as I take my first step. The shoes feel strange and my ankles wobble at first, but then there's a shift. My body moves differently, like it's adjusting to the rhythm of something new. My hips sway as I take another step, more confidently this time. I feel my chest tighten, both with fear and something else, something thrilling. When I stand before Kelly, she beams at me. "You look amazing," she says, but her smile holds more than praise. There's admiration in her eyes. I don't know if I've ever felt like someone was looking at me the way she does now. It's not just about how I look, it's about how she sees me. I take a deep breath, trying to settle the storm of emotions in my chest. I'm doing this. I'm really doing this. But underneath the excitement is a ripple of uncertainty. Who am I, really? I glance at the mirror again, and for the first time, I don't feel like an imposter. Instead, I feel powerful. The moment I step into the party, I feel like the entire world has shifted beneath my feet. The music is loud, the room buzzing with laughter and chatter, but all I hear is the pounding of my own heart. Kelly's hand rests gently on my shoulder, guiding me forward, but I feel like I'm floating, disconnected from reality, yet somehow deeply embedded in it. I'm still getting used to the heels, the way they click against the floor with each step announcing my presence. I can feel the eyes on me as I move through the crowd, but it's different now. At first, I thought they'd be filled with judgment, but instead, there's curiosity, intrigue, something I've never felt before. People are looking at me like I matter. Then I spot him, Tom, my best friend. The guy who's always been my rock, my sounding board. He looks up from the bar, and his eyes lock on mine, his jaw going slack. He stares for a long, awkward moment, and I feel a rush of vulnerability flood through me. I can't breathe. I've never been good at reading Tom's emotions, but this is different. He's seeing me, really seeing me for the first time. "Kelly, what did you do?" His voice cracks as he finally speaks, but there's something else in his tone, something I can't quite place. It's not anger, but it's not approval either. I swallow hard, feeling my throat dry. I don't know what to say. Should I explain myself? Tell him that this wasn't some game or joke, that I've been struggling with this part of me for so long? I had to, I say, the words tumbling out before I can stop them. I had to see if I could feel like me. Tom steps forward, his face softening, but there's confusion in his eyes. "But you're not a girl." The words hit me harder than I expected. Not because they're cruel, but because they're true, and yet they feel wrong. Am I not a girl? Or is it just that I've never been allowed to be one before? I don't know, I whisper, my voice shaky. But I feel more like myself than I ever have. There's a heavy silence between us, and I watch Tom's expression shift. His confusion morphs into something else, something like understanding, or at least the beginning of it. "I don't get it," he admits, his voice quieter now. "But if this is what makes you happy, I'll support you. Just don't lose yourself in it, okay?" His words hang in the air, and for a moment, I'm unsure of how to respond. But in that moment, something clicks within me. Tom isn't rejecting me. He's accepting that I'm changing, that I'm becoming something new. This isn't just a one-time thing. It's the beginning of something bigger. I look at him, my voice steady now. "I won't. I promise." And for the first time in years, I believe it. In the days that follow, I can't help but reflect on how much has shifted inside me. The transformation isn't just physical, it's deep, internal. I've learned that the person I thought I had to be for others doesn't have to be the person I am. I used to think that dressing up, stepping into something that felt more like me, was a form of escape. But now, I realize it's a form of self-expression, a declaration of freedom. Kelly has been by my side throughout this journey, helping me navigate the ups and downs. She's the first one who didn't judge me, who pushed me to step outside the box and see who I could really become. Through her support, I found the courage to embrace a new version of myself, one that felt authentic and right. And then there's Tom. I can't say we're back to being exactly the same, but there's something unspoken between us now, a mutual respect. He doesn't fully understand, but he sees me. He accepts me. His quiet acceptance means more to me than any words ever could. The road ahead is still uncertain. There will be challenges, moments where I second-guess myself, times when I feel like I'm losing sight of who I really am. But now I know that even in those moments, I'm not alone. There are people who care, who will support me through every step of this journey. As I stand in front of the mirror, a smile finally creeping across my face, I realize that this is only the beginning. There's a whole world out there for me to explore, and I'm ready for whatever comes next. Thank you for joining us on another captivating journey through Zoe's stories. Remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a tale. Until next time, keep exploring, keep imagining, and keep believing in the magic of storytelling. See you in the next chapter.